All right, today I want to talk about my last few weeks of living in my hometown. It's going to be a journey for me, especially because I don't really have much of a backup plan. As you know, like over the past maybe like 2 months, I'm moving, house is sold, already met the new owners. And for some weird reason, I don't exactly know why, but kind of saddens me a little bit. Seeing as much as bad memories I have here and, in my neighborhood and all that shit, where I'm from, probably going to miss my house. I mean, I've been here since I was a kid pretty much. And yeah, I'm going to miss it. And it's getting really depressing as well. It was a pretty short notice, and, there's no furniture really in the house at all. My room, which I actually quite enjoy it now, and I kind of do want to live like this if I do one day, hopefully soon, within the next couple of years, get my own place, my own apartment. How my room is pretty much set up. I threw out all the dressers, everything. We didn't, sell anything. We just threw everything out of the house kind of, because we don't need it anyway. I guess it's time for a new chapter and a fresh start anyway, but I threw out all the toys I had from when I was a kid. I mean, I'm not using that shit. They're all just kind of rotting there anyway. But my room pretty much, I'm not even joking. It's just a single mattress on the floor, a foldable table with a TV in the corner, and my Xbox, and that's it. That's my fucking room. I still have the closet. I donated, I gave some of my clothes to homeless people on the street and just donated most of it. And, I don't know, I guess, my comfort zone's kind of being, changed, I guess, And I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over again as well. Just living the same life, same everything. And I mean, deep down, I know that certain things won't work for me at all. It's just the current state of the world, just being born as a man, especially me too, because I'm a redhead and I'm ugly as fuck. I really never stood much of a shot with things, and I just kind of have to stop chasing that, that whole fucking, dream that I'm gonna have a family and get a successful job and buy a house like it's the 1960s, that's just crazy, I can't believe when I was a kid, if I would never have thought as a kid that I would have ended up in this place that I am now, in the state that I am in now. Cause I had it in my head that, when I was 4, 5, 6, 7, in elementary school, I thought that I would move out at 18, even in middle school, I really thought that. And I really wanted this too, because your parents, because it was a different world back then. Your parents were able to buy a whole house or an apartment for dirt cheap, pretty much the price of a fucking car. And I had it in my head that I'd be able to do this as well, but the world changed. It sucks. It really sucks. I got no one to help me, and that's all right too. Because it's better to just have nobody in your life, when you're constantly being disrespected and made fun of, all the time. And it's really hard to find genuine, down to earth, cool people who respect you, who are, funny, and who they treat you with respect and, help you out. It's hard to find people like this nowadays, because as a man, you're told to, shut the fuck up. Figure it out, get it together, and, all that. And you're left with just yourself, I would say, honestly, during the month of June wasn't a very productive month for me. After I got out of, the hospital that I was in, I started drinking a lot and, just hung over in bed all day, just doing nothing, and just eating like shit again, because I thought, I'm going to be out of here. Might as well just enjoy getting fucked up and, whatever. But during this month of July, I kind of, sat down with myself and I'm like, I got to get it together, because you don't want to go down that rabbit hole at all. You don't. It's not fun. It really isn't, because when I'm looking back on it, and even though it was that, recently, it wasn't fun. Sitting in your room drinking and shit, it's just not. It really isn't. I've been more productive. I haven't been eating any fucking slop, no hog shit slop fucking, garbage at all. No alcohol, none of that. I got lucky enough to get a part-time job, and also DoorDash, they finally approved me after quite a long time. It is highly competitive in New York City because you just get mogged by those fucking dudes that have those electric, those e-bikes that just fucking zoom everywhere, because parking is a pain in the ass here, and, it sucks. And I kind of feel free now a little bit because, I kind of have room to, I guess, because I've been looking for jobs everywhere in any state. Because if I could find, if it's like any state that has like low housing, cheap housing, and I find a job in an area that like, there's like an apartment nearby, I can go for it. I'm not bound to anything, and I think, if you live in the city, you can probably live anywhere. I mean, parking is a pain in the ass. Like, guys, there would be days where I would, like a year ago when I was really working, when I was really grinding, oh, shoot for your dreams, just like fucking grinding in that, that warehouse, working like 12-hour days. I would get off at like, 9:30, 10, sometimes even 11. And I'd be driving around trying to find a fucking parking spot. And it would take me sometimes like up to an hour to find like an actual place to park, sometimes after work, find like a tight space to parallel park in. And, the people here are kind of crazy too as well, if you could live here, you could probably live anywhere, and, part of me is a little scared, but also excited at the same time, just having something new. But yeah, I realize this. No one's ever going to have your back. When you're in your 20s, guys, and you're a man and you haven't met like those key developmental milestones, whether it be like, getting your first car, a job, a girlfriend, friends, you're going to struggle your ass off. You really are going to struggle your fucking ass off. It's going to be rough, because nobody can help you but yourself. And this is what I have to do now. I'm trying to think of things that, will prepare me for, this journey, I guess, of just like, because it's going to be a pain in the ass, sleeping in my fucking car all the time. I'm like a little worried about that as well, like really, really worried. That's like my only concern, because you got to understand, like during my day-to-day life, like especially now, I don't like sitting in the house at all. Anyway, I know people like have this assumption like, oh, bro, you fucking rot in your basement and sit in your basement and do nothing all day, and that's why you're a loser. I mean, I don't even have a fucking basement, but it's not the case. You can go out as much as you want, and you're not guaranteed success in anything in life. You're not guaranteed shit. You're not, quote unquote entitled to anything. And I spend most days just like walking around at the park, just trying to stay active. Again, just like eating right, just trying to stay away from people, honestly, because it's unfortunately it's like what I kind of have to do. I realized, obviously, I mean, I've known this for a long time. I don't really know why I keep trying for these things, because I put myself in these situations I know the outcomes of. I know people are gonna laugh at me, and I know, like, if I go to like a fucking, like, even the bar recently, like, just all this shit, I know the outcomes. And people will tell you, like, oh, that's just you giving up, that, you're giving up, but not really. You recognize that this type of lifestyle does not suit you, so you have to find an alternative. For like the bottom, like 20%, I would say, even honestly in this day and age, like bottom 50% of men, you have to find an alternative life, of something that will genuinely make you happy, and satisfy you, basically. But The funny thing is too, I know I was ripping on video games a little bit last month because I really don't play video games. Unfortunately, like last year, like I lost like my main Xbox account because I'm a dumbass and I used my school email. I went to go live with my dad, couldn't download it because I forgot the password and couldn't reset it. And then when I came back, I know to use my original one. Basically, because when you don't play on it for so long, they ask you for your password again, and I'm like, all right, it's over, it's done. So I lost like everything on there, all the games I bought, everything, and that kind of got me thinking, like it's crazy how you put so many hours into something, and now you have nothing to show for it at all. Story of my fucking life. But that's like sort of the reason why I don't play video games. Like when you're starting out like level 1 on fucking everything, you're like, dude, like I had so much shit. Like any game, all those fucking old Minecraft worlds. I mean, that game kind of sucks anyway, but like all those Minecraft worlds when I was like, 10 years old and shit, they're all gone. Like my levels on all the Call of Duties are gone. Like all that, over the years. And yeah, that was like the turning point to me with like video games. Now I just kind of play those Telltale games, And most of the gameplay, like, I'm going to be honest, most of it isn't even mine. Especially like back then, I would kind of use mine sometimes, but like not really because it was like harder to record it, like download it onto my phone and shit because I never had like any storage and all that. But the Telltale games, they're not bad. They're stress-free. You don't have to worry about, some kid just fucking shitting on you 24/7 who's been, highly competitive, who's been sweating on whatever game it is for the past like 10 years while you really don't play much. So yeah, those games, I mean, I do recommend those Telltale games. Their service did go under or whatever. Like they had like a falling out, and like most of the games you can't like technically buy anymore. But they are really good games. Like I highly recommend them. They're stress-free, just fucking, they're like story games, They sort of, I kind of like caught on, like most of it is just like an illusion of choice. Like when you first play the game, you think your choices matter, but when you play them a bunch, they really don't. That's also a story of my life, but either way, it's gonna, I don't know, this is gonna be a journey. Showering, I already have that planned out, with the gym. That's gonna be another thing that's gonna be a pain in the ass, just the sleeping, the showering. Maybe, who knows, maybe, if I save up enough, I can get like a hotel room for like a night or two. But I don't want to be bound to this place. I want to leave the city for sure. And at that point, if I do have that moment where, the no going back moment, I'm going to have to learn to grow up and mature. My parents sort of really did do everything for me. I guess, that is also a big problem, for our generation, just like having helicopter parents all the time everywhere who just, are doing everything for you. And you kind of, because I notice nowadays, like most Gen Z, they're not really, mechanically inclined in any way. Like most kids my age, they don't know how to fucking fix cars or change a tire. And there's a lot of stuff that people don't do now that they used to do that was healthier. So I'm going to have to figure out a lot of stuff on my own. Unfortunately, it's going to be like scary. I'm going to have to interact with people. I don't like doing that. That's going to suck so bad. But yeah, I'm going to have to do that. And just try not to stress myself out too much. Because now, I was kind of, when you're in your comfort zone, when you're rotting at home and every day's kind of the same, you're not really, I wouldn't say you're like necessarily happy or really miserable. You're kind of just like numb. You're just like stuck in this spot. And most Gen Z, most people my age, they're stuck in this spot that they don't, recover from. They're just like still living with their parents, not necessarily by choice. Cause, it's so funny how it used to be such an insult, like, oh, you're 30 living with your parents. Yeah. I mean, I understand that now. No one really says that shit anymore. The millennials, they had it pretty fucked. I remember, like, when I was in high school, oh, God, they would rip on the millennials so bad. Oh, the loser generation, oh. But I'm trying to think what else I've been doing recently. I don't know. Not much, just working. It is part-time. I don't really work too much. I'm trying to get my hours, extended. I'll do DoorDash. I've been trying to save every penny I have, you know. It's relatively easy because I'm not necessarily like a materialistic person at all. I don't care about much, you know, just like the basic necessities. And I think that's, you know, the reason why people don't even go out anymore. And that's also another reason why it's hard to make friends, because people just can't afford it. You know, bar drinks are expensive. I wouldn't even, at this point, you know, I just got to stop it with that shit. You know, even having like, I'll make a video on that actually, like in the future, just like this whole drinking culture that like, you know, countries that they have going on, and it's not worth it for you, you know. You're just going to dig yourself in a deeper hole than you're already in, you know. But yeah, most of the days I really, I'm just numb, you know. I'm depressed. I just struggle to find happiness. So instead I just have to find peace and being content, you know, with my current situation. I know it's probably not going to really improve. I'm going to get older, guys. That's just what happens. Life is life. I'm going to get older. You know, I'm probably, hopefully not, but fucking lose my hair. Honestly, if my hair started to go gray, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, you know, because I am ginger. You know, I am a redhead. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Because my dad, he went gray, like, apparently when he was like 21, his hair started getting gray, you know. But yeah, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But I also want to talk about this real quick. It's kind of random, but I don't know, I think it was like last night or 2 nights ago, I was watching this video on YouTube. It was these 2 scuba divers who, they went in like this little cave, and one of them got, you know, like an underwater cave, whatever, got stuck in one of the, I don't know, it's like a 3-foot opening, whatever, and he got stuck in there, you know, and his oxygen ran out, you know, all that shit, but there was an air bubble at the top that he could basically, you know, breathe through for a certain amount of time before his time ran out. And just, I don't know, just like thinking about, you know, imagine you're that guy in there that, you know, your fate is sealed, you know, like your life is done. You know, it's literally over. No one's coming to help you. You have limited oxygen. Like, what would be going on in your head? You know, and I tried to like put myself in this guy's shoes, thinking like, you know, what do I want in life? What would be like my biggest regrets of anything I've ever done? I don't have an answer. I really don't. I also want to say as well, you know, I saw this clip of, you know, it was this dude. He was only 35. And I don't know, I scroll on shit sometimes when I'm bored. And this dude, you know, he had just randomly got colon cancer, spread to his liver. He was all jaundiced and yellow, and the doctor, you know, he was with his wife, whatever. And, you know, the doctor was like, yeah, you're not going to make it to tomorrow. And like, he even knew himself, and like, he was just with his wife. Oh my God, this was the most like depressing, most like just brutal video I think I've ever seen in my life. You know, I think that's the ultimate, you know, BP word in the world, that life is just so random. Like, this dude one day couldn't control that. You know, it's like the randomness of just, you know, getting cancer basically, you know, and then his life was over. Like 12, what was that? Like 12 years, like 35. I'm 23. 12 years ago felt like yesterday. You know, that's just how short life is. You know, it's just brutal to just watch this guy, you know, I was just like thinking like, damn, you know, it was really depressing, you know. And it's crazy how life can just, you know, that's it. You know, like I've seen it happen, you know, in my high school. I mean, even, you know, that Titanic sub, that shit must have been crazy. You know, if you guys remember that, the thing I remember watching what is it? Like they made like a animation of it, and that shit was like terrifying. Like, it's just, the whole thing just compressed inwards, and they said that like within milliseconds, that was it. Just psh, like nothing. They were gone. Like, just literally nothing. No bones, they just exploded. And that's just life, you know, like 1 minute you're here, 1 minute you're not. And that's just a scary thought, you know, like, what have I ever even done in life? What have I even done? You know, like Like, I'm here now. I don't want to, like, get, like, emotional, but, you know, like, I'm here now, and, like, I ask myself, like, what do I even, like, want now? You know, like, what would actually, like, fulfill me and, like, you know, make me happy? I don't know. You know? But, yeah, it's gonna be a new journey. And I guess that's pretty much it for now.